Hello YouTube, I am here talking about Springtrap in Dead by Daylight at long last, and I have waited 5 years for this collab to happen. It's been 5 years in the making, and I'm so happy they are finally doing this. I'm going to be going over how Springtrap's abilities work, as well as his gameplay mechanics and his different skins he has on, because each skin has a very unique voice line, except for two in particular that are more defaults, but still very good looking skins, very monstrous to behold. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So to start things off, we first need to talk about who is Springtrap. Who is William Afton? And I won't get into too deep into who William Afton is, because it would be a very long story, and I'm not here to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, like the story of that game. I'm here to talk about the character Springtrap. So, William Afton is a serial killer who murdered children by luring them into back rooms in his pizzeria and wore a yellow rabbit costume in order to do it. However, the spirits of these kids would come back and try to get their revenge on him, only to have him sneak into the yellow rabbit costume to see if he can overpower these spirits. However, what William Afton did not count on was the spring locks failing in his suit, causing all the animatronic robot parts to crush his body within the suit, causing blood and guts to trickle everywhere, and forever being trapped inside of the suit, killing him. But this did not kill William Afton. As his line says, "I always come back." And came back he did, as a monstrous, undead walking corpse, forever haunting his rotting body inside of the now molded green yellow rabbit suit. Now the entity claimed him, and he's forever in this realm of darkness, forever killing and causing so much pain to others within the entity's realm. And that is only the story for the default skin. As for his other cosmetics, such as the bloody outfit, that was when Springtrap was first grabbed while he was being spring-locked in the rabbit suit. And the entity, being that it's a cosmic being, sped up the aging process of both the suit and the body. And Springtrap was horrified to see his own body aging before his eyes. And you can see the blood is very fresh. Some of it is stained on the suit. But it looks so scary, and it looks far more gruesome than the default skin. Toxic Springtrap is a skin that's pulled straight out of Five Nights at Freddy's AR. And it's interesting because, according to the description, Springtrap goes very crazy when he has this skin on. It's speculated that the substance, like the purple pustules and things on his body, are really making him more insane and very feral. As for his clown cosmetic, another skin from the AR game, that is actually something that Springtrap has tried to get off him, but every time he wipes the makeup off, it stays on, showing you the entity is keeping him in that form, forcing him to wear it against his own will. And to those of you who have clown phobias, this would be your worst nightmare. Yellow Rabbit is voiced by Matthew Lillard, the guy that played William Afton in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, rather than it being PJ Haywood from the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 video game. We can see by the design of the suit he was just pulled from the realm just as he was being spring locked. So now he is in the entity's realm, doing the same thing that the game Springtrap is doing, which is hunting down the survivors, killing them, and continuing the bloodshed. Glitchtrap is one of my favorite out of all of his skins, because this skin specifically is a digital virus of William Afton, caused when the tech boys at Fazbear Entertainment tried to test out their VR game. During the testing, they would pull Glitchtrap apart because at the time he was just coding, but this caused Glitchtrap, being a remnant soul of William Afton, to feel the pain of being torn to pieces and stitched back together again with coding. That's why you see the little sewn patches on his arms and legs, to show that he's been torn apart and put back together. It's actually very dark when you think about it. And his face is creepy looking because you can't tell whether he's angry or smiling. He just has a big grin, and his eyes, you can't see what's behind them. It's like Michael Myers or even Jason with the no expression, just a smiling, devilish face. Now that was the character skins. Now what about the abilities and powers? So for Springtrap's ability and powers, he's equipped with a pizza cutter for his main weapon, and his ability is both a teleporting ability and a hatchet throw ability similar to the Huntress, but rather one fireman axe. He's able to make the axe come back to him via teleportation, which is an interesting power. I also liked that the axe appears to be a subtle nod to the ending of Five Nights at Freddy's 3, where the haunted attraction in that theme park burned down due to fires being lit. It's a nice little callback to that Five Nights at Freddy's game. As for the doors, the survivors can use the doors to teleport as well. However, this means Springtrap can also use the doors to grab survivors when they're going through the same doors and Springtrap is going through another door. If they're in that same security room that they go through in order to get to the next door, then Springtrap can easily grab them, pull them out, and hook them immediately. So it causes survivors to really be careful about the doors they're using and mostly look at the cameras in order to make sure Springtrap isn't going through the doors. Now, lastly, I'd like to cover the Mori because it is very brutal when it comes to gore and bloody.
1A! 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 1A!
It really demonstrates how twisted and brutal Springtrap is when it comes to dealing with survivors. When he kills them, he first stabs them through the chest and then puts them in this machine-looking thing similar to one of his spring lock suits, except it has buzzsaws instead of spring locks. And then, of course, after the survivor is shredded, there is the jump scares, which are different depending on which Springtrap skin you have selected. And I really like that they kept the skins different from one another. They could have just been lazy and just made it all the same, but they took time to make each of these skins look appealing, and it shows the level of care that Behavioral put into this chapter. So I thank you, Behavioral, and I thank you, Dead by Daylight, for allowing Five Nights at Freddy's to finally make it